I love to fly up in the sky. Through the clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light.
Beyond ATC connected.
The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drums begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light.
Hello all, this is a flight from Madeira to Frankfurt on board the TUI Boeing 737-800 from PMDG. Without further ado, let's get right on the flight itself. So recently PMDG just updated their textures on the 737 family. The 800 was the last one to get it, and this is the one we're going to fly today. So this is GSX brand new looks. So we're going to request boarding. Yes, use airplane steers, and let's use Menzies. So for now we're just going to make sure to release all ground vehicles just in case there are any. As for door management, where do we expect the stairs? I remember there used to be... No. There used to be an option here to extend the air stairs. I guess they incorporated that into the cockpit itself, so we need to go outside. So, there's no panel here. Where's the air stairs control? There it is. Oh, hold on. Hello. Oh, the air stairs are already out. Oh, nice. So no need to operate them. Nice. So let's go back in. So let's pick up the checklists. Parking brake set. Or it's not set, but it will be. Done. Battery switch is on, and we got ground power. It is connected, I believe. Yep, it is connected. IRS selector left and right has been already set to nav. Cabin utility is on, as well as IAFE. Passenger power, emergency lights are armed. We got the logo lights set on, strobe set to steady, anti-collision off, and wing lights on. Window heat is turning on. We should get all green lights on all 4 panes. There it is. Trim air. So trim air is on. Recycling fans left and right set to auto. Packs left and right set to auto. Isolation valve to open. Pressurization panel set to auto. Fuel pump forward 1 set. Altimeters. Let's take a look here at our D80s. Here we go. Weather for Madeira for today is 0 to 0 at 11 knots. Variable between 340050. Visibility 99 so that's good visibility. Clouds scattered 1,600 feet. Broken at 3,000. Temperature 20, dew point 15. QNH 1019er, runway 05 in use. So this is what we're going to need to set up. So we're going to look down here and we're going to move our altitude to 1019. Altimeter, I mean, not the altitude. There it is set, and let's confirm it's set, and on the standby set. So all set. Transponder set, altitude off. It is altitude off. Flight directors 1 and 2 both on MCP. So now let's set up our, before we go to the MCP, we're going to set up our flight. So we got some failures here for some reason. Alright, so let's go back. Well, we didn't have failures, we just had failure menu open for some reason. Alright, so first of all the IRAC. So we got from May 14 to June 11, 26, so it's up to date. We already have our IRSs aligned, and now we're going to request a flight plan. Oh, something's fishy here with the Simbrief. I believe we need to load it first here. Yeah. And now I can request it.
Hello.
There it is. Alright, so this is a flight plan from Madeira to Frankfurt and Düsseldorf. I believe this is ETTL as alternate. We got initial altitude flight level 340, cost index 80. So distance is never filled in. I don't know if this is a limitation from the system. Our flight today is TUI 4433. This is TUI is a designation for TUI Germany, although our plane is as a British registration. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the fuel, and let's check it out. I'm not sure if this updates live, so we'll just set the payload. So you can see this is a walk-in gate. Passengers are coming in from the gate area. It's actually a pretty neat thing to see it, them boarding. Now there's an option to leave the rear door open. I think after the last GSX update, rear door has become redundant, or at least it's not working anymore. But it doesn't matter. It takes a little longer to load passengers, that's all, because we are used to load passengers with 2 doors. I'm just going to use a 1 door today. All right, so let's carry on with the planning. So we're going to request the performance according to our flight plan, and we should have data on the flight plan right here. So we confirm the cost index is 80, and these are our steps. So we are going to have to climb to flight level 360 after TOU. We're going to see where that is later. As for the block fuel, we're expecting 14.6 tons. That's liters. And, well, it's kilograms actually, but it's equivalent. We're expecting departure via 05 via DGUN 1 Echo. We're going to request clearance for that in a moment. So just confirming here.
This way, please.
We don't have any further things to note. Alright, so right now we're going to request, I already requested it, but it seems not to be available just yet. We're going to wait for the mass imbalance stuff to come in and then we'll continue on. But for now we need to set up our flight plan. So we're going to come back here to the initial reference. Flight plan request. I think.
Hello?
Alright, yeah, we need to set the payload, set the fuel. 32.4. This is pounds. We need to put it in kilograms. Select a route. It's going to request a flight plan. I'm going to set the
Good evening.
aircraft, I believe, equipment.
Hello.
Where's the kilograms option?
Good evening. Hello.
So many options. But I believe it's one of these displays.
May I see your boarding pass?
There it is, kilograms. Bingo, 14.7 as required. Alright, so not the first page I wanted, but still, let's go back to menu, FMC, and we'll leave the co-pilot's FMC because what usually happens is that GSX will use the co-pilot's CDU and we don't want to interfere with that. Alright, looks like our route is being uploaded now. And there it is, so now we can activate it. And let's go to the route here. We can confirm all legs are in. Let's go for departure, and now let's call ATC and request IFR clearance. So last time I pressed this in Madeira, Beyond ATC got bugged. It continuously gave me permission to backtrack and then take off. Well, that's not what we want. We want IFR clearance. So if it happens again, you know, it's a known bug.
Madeira Tower, TUI Jet 4423, Boeing 737-800 with information Juliet, ramp Alpha 7 request IFR clearance to Frankfurt Main.
Let's see what it replies.
TUI Jet 4423, Madeira Tower, thanks for Juliet, cleared to Frankfurt Main via the ground 1 Echo departure, runway 05, climb via SIG to 4,000 feet, squawk 3745.
Cleared to Frankfurt Main via the ground 1 Echo departure, runway 05, climb via SIG to 4,000 feet, squawk 3745, TUI Jet 4423.
TUI Jet 4423, read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Roger that, TUI Jet 4423.
3745 as our squawk. Done. Alright, let's go. Alright, we got passengers loaded. So let's come here to our performance page. And let's import from OFP. It's not importing weather either. Oh yes it is. So for some reason, because I believe we need to select a departure, right? Departure selected, so alright, it's not importing, it's not important. So here we go, we calculated our takeoff data, so we got acceleration height to 1,500 feet. So we're going to take off flaps 5 N1 set to 94%, takeoff 1, and our flex temperature is 30 degrees. Trim set to 5.71. We got V1 150, VR 151, and V2 156. Our vRAAS is 159, or that's the one we're going to insert right here. So we're going to set the runway heading for Madeira as well. For runway 05 there is. So 05. I think it's 049. Yeah, I think it's 049. We'll confirm that later. So we can arm LNAV and VNAV, or can we? I think we need auto throttle now. Now we can do it. Nope, not yet. So why not? Oh, of course not. Now we can arm VNAV and LNAV. Well, VNAV doesn't want to, but LNAV it will.
All aircraft be advised information kilo now current QNH 1019.
So I'm going to start APU now. Oops. APU on.
Madeira Tower, Canal 1 Victor Papa, RNAV Yankee approach runway 05.
Our initial altitude is
China 1 Victor Papa, Madeira Tower, wind 360 degrees 10 knots, runway 05 clear to land.
Runway 05 clear to land, Canal 1 Victor Papa.
Close the door now. It's going to get loud. Always in trouble with these controls. There we go. Door closed and locked. Just gonna set up a little floodlight, panel integrated lights, halfway. Overhead panel lights to right, circuit breaker to mid. APU starting up. Stand by a moment. It seems like everything's peachy. Let's go here to request initiation now, so we can get all the data in. Hello? Everything's been calculated. Alright, now it's done it. Load. So cross rate 76.3 and CG 23.3. So yeah, 76.3, 22.3 is correct. And we got a transition altitude is 4,000 actually, but let's leave it at 5,000 because I believe this is the default, but they cleared us to 4,000. Let's go to N1 limit. Oh, first of all, execute N1 limit. Let's set it up for 30 degrees, cell OAT, takeoff 1, and that's it. We're gonna leave it at climb 1. So flaps 5, CG is 23.3 set, and QRH confirm, 150, 151, 156 confirm, and we got it. Everything's set up and looking very good. Let's go back here to our performance. Let's leave it there for now.
China 1 Victor Papa, taxi to ramp Alpha 4 via Alpha.
Taxi to ramp Alpha 4 via Alpha, Canal 1 Victor Papa.
This never works at first. So it seems to be going.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
So APU set. We got dual bleed for now. Turn off the backs. going to set our anti-collision light to on. Fully ready. So let's bring it.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Copy. Let's go here and bring up our charts. So for departure, we're going to request sit, league on 1 echo, pin it, as well as airport reference.
Locking gear.
We don't really need the airport, we're just going to need the SID for now. So we're waiting for the request and we're going to call it in. Push and start. They're raising the plane, pretty cool. Oh, the air stairs are still... Oh my god. Why did the air stairs deploy automatically but didn't recover also automatically? So here it is. Turn it on and retract. Hold on, I think we need... Yeah, we need hydraulics for that. The electrical hydraulic pumps. It's not coming. At least it doesn't sound like it's coming back in. Oh, it is. Alright. Coolio. Alright, so now we're gonna need to call it in. Alright, let's get back to our seat. Close the door, please. Is the door closed? Yes. Alright. So request. Oh no.
TUI 4423 at ramp Alpha 7 request pushback and engine start.
Hello, Traxi. Welcome.
2Jet 4423, Madeira Tower, pushback and engine start approved. Face southwest.
Pushback approved. Face southwest.
Face southwest.
TUI 4423.
So we're gonna. So dismissed PMDG chocks should have been something he should have done already. Alright, fully ready. No. Alright.
Release parking brakes, please.
Parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines lit. Start with.
Start number 1. Very noisy, this rattling. I think it's the plane simulating interface with the ground tug. Eject fuel 25% into. Let's also set our TCAS ready for transmission. And turn on our HUD. Oh, nice. How's it going? How's the vacation, Draxi? Engine number 1 start. Start number 2. Very noisy rattling.
Reset parking brakes.
Parking brake set.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Roger. We got a good engine start.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
Confirm our full deflection left, neutral, full deflection right, neutral, full pitch up, neutral. Oh, Stand by. You guys can't see it, can you? No. Full pitch up, neutral. Pitch down, neutral. Full rudder left, neutral. Full rudder right, neutral. And we're done. Alright, we're fully ready. Let's call it in.
TUI Jet 4423, request taxi to the active.
Disconnected. Bypass being removed.
TUI Jet 4423, taxi to holding point Alpha, runway 05 via Alpha Charlie.
Taxi to holding point Alpha, runway 05 via Alpha, Charlie, TUI Jet 4423.
We are clear for the taxi, waiting for the pin. There it is. We can set this to and APU power off. Both backs to auto. We can leave it there for now. So what's going on? Air stair problems. Let's see if we can resolve this. If not, so lavatory, GPU card, air conditioning. I honestly don't know if set to parking links. So what the heck is going on? What just happened? Weird. Alright, we still have the air stair light there, but I don't think that's a mandatory thing. I think the air stair just got... There's no option here to extend or retract it here, not that I can see. So these are the ground connections. Nothing. So there used to be an option here to extend and retract the air stairs. I'm pretty sure there was. All doors are armed. It used to be here somewhere. So it's no longer here, so there's no way to extend or retract the stairs unless I can go outside. This would be very stupid if it only works from the outside. I just want that light to go away, you guys know me. So fully retracted. This doesn't seem to operate anymore, so this could be the problem. Alright. Do we still have the air stair light? No, it's off. So that was probably just a little bit off. So, whatever. Let me just confirm here the altitude. Why is this depressing? The initial altitude, so I can set it up correctly. So our trip will be 350, but we are set to initial climb 3 320, but we're gonna set it to 350 then, so we can have pressurization as it should. Alright, so good to go, let's taxi. Taxi lights on. Parking brake off, let's move. What's the matter? Speed brakes armed. Alright, now we should have clear. Hold on a second, the engines are out. No. What? This happened to me yesterday. What? This is really weird. It's like the engines are out. But we got 58 N2. The engines are running. This is really weird. Is it active pause or something? Not active pause. Is it? I honestly don't know what's going on here. So you can see the throttle's moving, but the plane is not responding. Is it slew mode? There's something called slew mode. Could it be the slew mode is on? Shift Z. Could it be that? Alright, now can we move the plane? No. The plane is seized. It's like could it be collateral? Nope. Something's happening. Not sure what. I just moved the plane, came back to the cockpit, and now I'm going to try to start the engines again. This is definitely a glitch. See, the N2 is not moving. It's like the throttle is cut. Could this be sim rate? Alt R. I don't think I pressed this. Nope. Everything's working, but now I killed the engine and it's not starting up. Well, mainly because it probably needs APU. Let's see if the APU starts. It does start. comes number 2. You can hear the engine spooling up. What the heck is going on? So it's great things, these things happen to me all the time. So let's go to load a panel state. I don't know. Yeah, let's load a panel state. I'm out of options here. Engine number 1 is in a real weird state right now, so I'm just gonna restart it. Let's kill it. That's really weird. It's like I lost full authority on the engines. Alright, looks good. Let's go back to auto and auto. Are we good now? Hopefully we are. And switch off. Let's see now. We have trust. We do. So we got a display source here. Why do I have a display source warning here? I did not touch any of that. Hey, whoop, what just happened here? Something. Is it you, Betsy? So we got flight controls, probably the yaw damper. Yep, there it is. Alright, coming up on runway 05, we should have set up our ETA. Our ELAP, not ETA, our elapsed time, I mean.
TUI Jet 4423, ready for departure, runway 05.
TUI Jet 4423, backtrack runway 05. Call when ready for departure.
Let's go backtrack.
Backtrack runway 05, go when ready, TUI Jet 4423.
Approaching 05.
Sorry about that. There we go. Let's go. Parking brake off. Little hiccup here with my stuff. Now it's working.
On runway 23.
Backtrack.
400 meters remaining.
So we're on the opposite direction, so it's assuming it's on runway 23, but we're actually on 05 to line up, backtrack and line up. So there's something wrong. I think it's the HUD. No, it's my track
30
IR. It's
meters
acting up.
remaining.
My track IR. So track IR is a little fishy because it oh, hello, Andrew, didn't see you there. Welcome. No problem there, mate. Things aren't going peachy. I just had a huge bug with PMDG, so I managed to restart the engines. But
Jet 4423, ready for departure.
On
105.
runway 05.
Jet 4423 Madeira Tower, wind 360 degrees, 10 knots, runway 05 cleared for takeoff.
Runway 05 cleared for takeoff. Jet 4423.
come on. I'm gonna fly manual here. 100. V1, rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. So VNAV is acting up. Speed check flaps 1.
Jet 4423, contact Madeira departure 119.605.
Contact Madeira departure 119.605. Jet 4423. Madeira departure, Jet 4423. Good evening, passing 2,500 feet, climbing to 4,000 feet.
Jet 4423, Madeira departure, identified, climb flight level 170.
Climb flight level 170, Jet 4423.
So we're going to continue our climb to flight level 170 now. Speed check flaps up. Takeoff checklist. No, not this again. Transition set standard and cross-check. Standard and standard.
All aircraft be advised information remain now current to QNH 1019.
We are already on standard, so it's not for us. So now we're transitioning via MA647 all the way to D-Gun. Pretty standard departure for Madeira. So let's turn on our weather system. Should have WX and Tango. Passing 10,000 feet, external lights off. So this camera is giving out, oh, door's still open. Can't have that, can we? This camera is this parallax perspective. I don't really like it. I like the fixed POV. I guess I can get that with the Track IR, I suppose. Yeah, it still has some parallax to it. As I turn my head, you can see there. And yeah, it's not looking good. So if I line it up, wow, much better. Oh yeah, this is the one. Much better. So we're waiting for the next ATC altitude clearance. So we're now cleared for flight level 170, which we'll achieve even before D-Gun. Flight plan, by the way. We will time accelerate in a moment as soon as we get to final altitude clearance. And then we're going to request 360. Might as well switch that to 36, because we're going to request 360 at TOU. So that will be in roughly about 1 hour or so, and we will time accelerate
Center, Iberia 2603 Heavy, flight level 330.
Iberia 2603 Heavy, Lisbon Center identified. Center, Channel 78 November Lima, passing flight level 082, climbing to flight level 360. Channel 78 November Lima, Lisbon Center identified, continue climb to flight level 360. Continue climb to flight level 360, Channel 78 November Lima. Descend via start to 4,000 feet, QNH 1019.
Descend via start to 4,000 feet, QNH 1019, Royal Air Maroc 982.
Jet 4423, request flight level 360.
TUI Jet 4423, roger, climb flight level 360.
Climb flight level 360, TUI Jet 4423.
Descend via start to 4,000 feet, QNH1019er.
Descend via start to 4,000 feet, QNH1019er, viewing 5 Echo Lima.
Ryanair 80 Lima Papa, descend via start to 4,000 feet, QNH1019er.
Descend via start to 4,000 feet, QNH1019er, Ryanair 80 Lima Papa.
Royal Air Maroc 982, contactless Boeing approach 125.13.
Contactless Boeing approach 125.13, Royal Air Maroc 982. Lisbon Center, relax 3 Delta Golf, good evening, flight level 340.
Relax 3 Delta Golf, Lisbon Center identified. Center 118.275.
Contact Madrid Center 118.275, Easy 35 Echo Victor.
Ryanair 19 Delta Bravo, turn right, heading 025.
Turn right, heading 025, Ryanair 19 Delta Bravo. Lisbon Center, Chelex 1422, flight level 360.
Chanex 1422, Lisbon Center identified. Lisbon Center, Iber Express 1536, good evening, flight level 260. Iber Express 1536, Lisbon Center identified. Flight level 360. Iber Express 1550, Lisbon Center identified. Ryanair 80 Lima, Papa, contact with for approach 125.13.
Contact with for approach 125.13, Ryanair 80 Lima, Papa.
Madrid Centre 118.275 Jet 4423, bye-bye. Madrid Centre, Jet 4423, good evening, flight level 360.
Jet 4423 Madrid Center identified.
Like I say in the description, PMDG just updated their the art for these planes for the 737NG. This plane, the 800, was the last one to get the visual upgrade, and it happened last week. So what's new? Well, basically some of the key art has been upgraded to 4K and up. So if you zoom in on some of these features, you will notice that these, for example, even have the individual LED lights, which is pretty cool. But if you really zoom in on some of these other textures, you'll notice that it's still pixelated. The texture I usually use to demonstrate this is the yoke, so you can see here. There are a few improvements, for example in this decal here for the autopilot disengage, but then if you take a good look at the textures for the yoke itself, they are not that good. I mean, you don't really need to zoom in this far, I suppose, but it does have these bumps, and it looks good in terms of if you look at from afar, but then when you zoom in some items, you will notice, for example here on your seat, this doesn't look like lambskin. It looks like some weird look-alike. As for the rest of the aircraft, things that aren't that particularly improved. Some key aspects of the simulation, I mean of the texturing, has improve, but then you do have some items that still require attention. I mean, at what point do you really want to model absolutely every rivet? It's understandable that some stuff gets upgraded because you're going to use it, and others not that much. So this seems to be working. Kind of bright, isn't it? Maybe it's in the drinking state. The food. What's it called? Catering. So let's see. Night sleep. So this one stage. The forward zone is on night mode, but you can clearly see that the lights are still on. Yeah, it is orange, and let's see, night sleep should be blue, but it's freaking bright. It's really bright. So entry area, medium white, medium white, and can we turn this off? We can. So this light is always going to be on. The working light. This is the light that's not turning off, by the way. So if we turn it off, it's still lit. I think it has to be lit because it's emergency exit. But it clearly is not in night sleep. Let's see if we turn off. Yeah, see, the passenger's still too well lit. Not sure why that happens. Must be something with the way MFS works, I suppose. So the passenger, or GSX, this could be a GSX thing. It doesn't look like it. I mean, they're well lit when we turn off the lights. Completely off both zones. See, lights still appear to be on. And it doesn't make sense that that happens unless you turn on the emergency lights. Oh my, did I turn the out of the emergency light? No, they're armed, but they're off. They're not on. So why do we have these so strong lights in the cockpit if we can't make it dark as you should? Because the cabin itself is dark, it's just the passengers that are lit. And there's lights coming from from above. You can't really call this night mode. And this bright white light overrides the blue light you're intending to simulate here. Even the door is lit beyond reason. I wonder why. I wonder what's doing this. Let's bring it back to auto. Environment and maintenance seems to be off. Only the cabin lights are operational for now. This is the lock screen. This looks okay. So this main line here in the center, if we turn off, it should completely turn off. Oh, I don't want to turn off the autopilot. Still in accelerated time, so let's just put this back in on auto. I'm sure they're still going to need to work on this, but that center light is definitely not blue, and there's some persistent lighting in the car, in the cabin, that still needs some work. So now we have this. We can interact with some of the cockpit elements, which is okay. I wish there were baggage, like luggage there. And as you can see, there is a blue light, but you can't really get that blue light in here. So none of these work. These do, but not the trays. People in the front seat are still not IFE capable. That's why those guys are using their iPads and iPhones. Don't mind the low polygon GSX models. It's the way it is to save on memory. Best seats on the aircraft are these two right here. That guy and that guy. Why? Well, look at that room you have for your feet. That and the last row in some airliners, I'm not sure on the 737, but the last row usually is also very spacey, not for the knees, but on the side, because usually they remove the one seat, and it's usually the one near the wall, but this one seems to have all the seats available. So usually airlines will remove this seat and you'll have extra room if you sit here by the window, but not on this plane. So the loo is still occupied. I wonder if I turn off here, will it make any difference? Let's see. Nope. There's always an omni light available for some reason. Alright. Oh, nice. Let's go back to the front seat. Best seat in the house is this one, of course, but as a passengers, I wouldn't mind flying on that emergency exit. So we're more than half the way now. We got a little tailwind helping us to our destination. We're just about to lose the center tanks. I mean, lose the fuel inside. Oh, we're changing. Betsy's handling it.
Good evening, flight level 360.
Border control identified.
We're passing through Bordeaux. And appears there our map died. Alright, it's back. Yeah, we're passing through Bordeaux. Even though it looks like there's a lot to go, we're pretty close now to our destination. There's just a lot of waypoints to go. So if you come here, we'll see that we'll be landing at Frankfurt at 22:51. These numbers will of course change over time because of the fuel consumption. We got tailwind as well, but 22:51. So now it's 21:27. So more than an hour in sim, but we're time accelerated. We're 4 times time accelerated, so it's not going to take that long. We're already 2 hours and 18 minutes out of the gate in sim because again we're time accelerated. We'll start looking into our descent a little closer, but we can already insert what's on the flight plan because most likely that won't change. So come down here to routing. We are expecting runway 25 Romeo via MPAX 5 Alpha, so let's insert that. So runway, we're going to set ILS Zulu, even though it's not reported there. And now we're going to set to MPAX 5 Alpha, right? Yep, MPAX 5 Alpha. And let's take a look at the transition. So we need to go into the charts. Let's go to our arrival. Let's look at our approach. So we're going to look into runway 325 right, center, 25 right, and let's try ILS Zulu. So this is the one we would like to have. So as for the transitions, I believe
Border control, TUI Jet
Delta Fox
4423, flight level 360.
426. Where's 426? It's 425, 426 right there. So we either get that or we get MEFTO, which isn't in the chart. Oh, there it is. So we either come through here or we go direct to Delta Fox 426. Because we don't know yet, we are going to assume Delta Fox 426 because that's the biggest displacement. But we can also always come back here and change that. For now, let's set that to active. As for our approach, we're gonna set flaps 30, 152 knots. This will of course be dynamic according to the aircraft's weight. Alright, so there it is. Our center fuel tanks are spent. We're gonna turn it off for tank number 1. Expected secondary to also run out of fuel. It's usually, I think there's a little bug here because usually both tanks run out of fuel simultaneously. And you'll notice I just turned off the pumps for tank 1 and left and right center tanks. But, alright, don't worry about that. But after a while, you'll notice that the fuel quantity on the center tanks may rise. It doesn't happen often, but it does happen. I'm not sure if it's a normal thing, if it's a bug. Could be absolutely normal.
TUI Jet 4423, contact border control 125.
Change stations again. So let's spin the Zulu, but also pin the Cat 3 and
Border control, TUI Jet 4423, flight level 360.
well, I hope they give us the RMP. RMP is also nice. So let's set up the RMP. Not the GLS, this is for Airbus only. So no GLS, no GLS. This is all for Airbus. We cannot fly GLS on the 737. Actually, the iFly has an option to simulate this, but it's not something we want to do because it's unrealistic. So GLS is ground-based landing system. So a ground-based satellite landing system. So it is like there's a station in Frankfurt that can monitor your plane and it uses satellite GNSS data to give you a precision approach. Actually, GLS is more like the evolution of the RMP. It's a mix between RMP and ILS. The only difference right now is the GLS is not yet certified for Autoland, and again it only works with Airbus. Mainly the Airbus A350 and the Flight Sim Labs A321. So Unibuild's A350 and the Flight Sim Labs A321neo are the only two add-ons that I know of that can fly GLS. So imagine GLS, we can look at the chart to give you an idea. Imagine GLS pretty similar, as you can see, to the ILS. The approach are facsimile almost. Even the waypoints are the same. But the difference is that you don't have an ILS frequency, you have a channel here, 31845. This is an encrypted channel to the station that's situated somewhere in this, around the airport.
Center on 130.85, Jet 4423.
Let's go to Paris, I believe.
Marseille control,
Marseille,
Jet
alright.
4423, flight level
And the difference is that you can see here there's no steps. It's all done by the airplane. And it's calculated with the same 3-degree down angle as you can see here. The glide path is almost, if not the same. Even the decision heights may be similar, but the difference is that there are no steps, there are no outer markers, no inner markers, no ILS antenna. This saves so much money for airports that need to have one ILS antenna per runway. So in the case of in Frankfurt, it has 4 runways, 4 lanes if you want, and then each one of these have 2 active runways possible. So all in all, you need 8 glide slopes and 8 localizers for these 4 runways. With this new system, GLS by Airbus, you only need one station, and that single station can control via satellite, data link, can control all aircraft in the vicinity. So it's something Airbus is pushing, and it looks like it's the future for ILS approaches. I'm sorry, for instrument approaches. But like I said, right now, let me reduce this a little bit. Like I said, right now it's not certified for Autoland. That's the only big, huge difference, is that it's not certified for Autoland just now. And as you can see, the distance that you can start your approach is a lot longer, a lot higher sometimes. Not all the times, but 5,000 feet. Let's go back to the ILS. It's also 5,000 feet actually. But in some airports, the initial point for the approach can be a little farther away or at higher altitudes, just not here in Frankfurt. So coming back to our ILS, because that's the one we can also go for the RNP. The RNP is actually pretty similar, as you can see. It's almost the same actually. This RNP is SLS capable, so you can have satellite data link guiding you via this channel 67328. You can guide yourself in. It's pretty much the same station, isn't it? Let me confirm that. No, it's a different station. Anyway, so this is all satellite guided by RNP, and you can have a decision height based on. I'm sorry, this is the ILS. What I mean is the RNP. There it is. So you will have a decision height pretty similar to the ILS 551, whereas the ILS is the same, 551. So what's the difference? It's choices. It gives you choices. You have choices between running the ILS and having a minimum altitude, and in this case it's 551. Take control and land the plane. You can go to Cat 2 and Cat 3 if there's low visibility, and you're capable of Cat 2 ILS actually for this runway. You have a decision height much lower because Cat 3 doesn't have a decision height, or you can have the RNP, which is a straight-in approach, no steps, and it's all guided by the LPV, so the GNSS. This plane is capable of RNP, of course. It's just not capable of some of these stuff like the EGNOS. This is for SLS with LPV, and there's a GLS. Sorry, both of these are Airbus only, but you can perfectly fly the RNP. So what's the difference between RNAV and RNP? We've been through this in the last flight we did to Madeira, but let's talk about it again. So RNAV approach is, of course, based on INS data. So you just follow lat-long waypoints, so latitude, longitude waypoints, with no actual radio reference, just like these. All right. So none of these points exist or have a radial to a VOR or something like that. They're all marked by INS or GPS. When you go RNP, you're upgrading that to having a minimum safety altitude, and the plane must be capable of calculating a margin of error of about 0.3 meters, 0.1 meters sometimes of a margin of error. So it is a very precise non-precision. So it kind of sounds like a contradiction, but it's actually just a way to say that the plane is not expected to fly precision approach because it cannot follow through to the runway and autoland, but you can still find the runway with a very safe margin of error, and you'll still have your decision heights. In this case we're Charlie type 551, and that will be our decision height for today, regardless of RNP or ILS. So let's set that up. So barrel and 551. This is the worst switch knob, whatever you want to call it, in this plane because it's so freaking sensitive. See, just jumped to 600 feet. 511. There it is. Alright, so we got our barrel set. And that's it. Now we're just gonna wait till our top of descent, which is gonna happen right about there. So as we get closer, we are expecting our clearance for descent and approach. So let's go to another, say, you can see that we're getting closer and closer. Actually, I think this is Austria, so we're about to cross the border. I think it's Austria. Station. I think it's Austria. So this is Switzerland and this is Austria, I think. No, but it doesn't. The mountains. I'm missing the mountains unless they're on the other side. Oh yeah, the mountains are on the other side. Yeah, that's Switzerland, alright. Let's go to Geneva. So I think we are going to get the eastbound approach because we are going to go upstairs and then turn left. So I think that's the approach we'll get. But we'll need to see. Beyond TC was recently updated to give you the actual approach while giving you the SID, so let's see if that works today. So again, thank you guys, Andrew, Dinesh, Drexy, for being in chat. I'm sorry if today's flight is a little less enthusiastic, a little less exciting. Let's go to Zurich, still in Switzerland. A good time to remind you guys, leave a like, subscribe, and there's a link in my description for the Buy Me a Coffee page if you're feeling generous. Hello Thibault. Thibault who? How? Sorry if I murdered your name, not my intention. Welcome Thibault. We're crossing Switzerland right now, almost on our destination there. Now we're going to turn left northeast. So it's pretty cool to see that when it turns, you can see it here, sim rate reduces to 1. As soon as it stops the turn, you'll see that it will accelerate back to 4 times. Time compression is managed. In this way, it avoids overshooting waypoints, I suppose. Let's see, now it's going to stabilize and it's going to accelerate any time now. So there's still another turn, I believe. Yeah, it's compensating on the turn. So now it's tracking the correct course, and there it is. It accelerated 2 times first and now 4 times. See that? That's auto. That's pretty cool. It guarantees that you won't overshoot stuff. But now we got nose wind.
2Jet 4423, clear Deepax 5 Alpha,
let's-
runway 25 right.
Alright, IMPA 5 Alpha 25 right. Let's just confirm that's what we got for now. No, we got a different approach here. So. Oh no, it's this, yeah, it's correct. We only need the transition and the approach type, which I hope it's either RNP Zulu or ILS Zulu. It's definitely not going to be Cat 3 ILS. So right now the only landing system capable of auto land is ILS Cat 2 and Cat 3. You can also auto land in Cat 1, but that's, I mean, it's just overkill. So whenever people ask me why are you such a big fan of Airbus, it's just because of the automations, really.
2Jet 4423, report ready for descent.
Alright, let's report ready for descent before it goes haywire. Betsy's voice is a little low today. Alright, let's call it ready for descent. All top of descent is way up ahead, so we may not want to descend right now. So we're gonna wait until it becomes absolutely ATC going haywire, forcing us to descend. So if you want to see where the top of descent is, right there. It's about 25 miles.
Contact London radar 127.6.
So let's go to Germany. That's London radar.
127.6, Jet 4423, good day. London radar, Jet 4423, good evening, flight level 360.
2Jet 4423, London radar, identified.
So let's bring our passengers to our seats now.
London radar, Eurowings 5X.
We also need to set up our landing altitude. And a very quick way to do that is just come to your regular chart and look here. Runway 351 feet. Very quick way to know your runway altitude. So let's go 350 up here. Done. So that's just to allow the pressurization to do its magic. Let's go back here to legs. So we do have our radar turned on, but I don't see. Gain 0. There. So look, tilt isn't working yet. Although Asobo says it's already working, but it isn't on most planes. For what I've been told, it's just a placeholder for an actual tilting animation, and that's not there yet. It's still guessing cloud position, which is ideal. So we already know it's 25 Romeo, so let's go here and whoops, not this. Let's go here to our performance tool, landing in routes, import from OFP. It doesn't allow me. Oops. Something wrong with importing from OFP. So we're gonna land with auto brakes 1. No credit for reverses, so all OP. We got 66.4 estimated. Flap config 30, that's correct. VRAF at 5. Import the weather from Frankfurt 05084.
Descend to flight level 320.
Descend to flight level 320. Jet 4423.
Alright, it wants us to go, we go.
TUI Jet 4423, descend flight level 280.
Descend flight level 280. Jet 4423.
Alright, we're descending now. Alright, let's calculate this. Weight is 146.3 pounds or 66.3 kilograms. Oh, it's just about, so we need to add a little less, so let's edit this and it's just right 66.3. Where's the 0.3? Alright, that should be enough. Let's calculate now. Alright, here we go. So it's telling me I need the full length of the runway, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So we need to go auto brakes 2. That will give us a very slight margin of 8,166 factored distance out of 9,000.
Descend flight level 230. Jet 4423.
Let's go VNAV and see if we can pick up the descent. So we are descending, we're just not descending at the rate they want us to, which is way faster than what we would like it to be. I hope it's not going to give us any radar vectors. So this is what we want, our VRAF 154 knots. And you see our current weight is 66.2, so that's already outdated. So let's just
Eurowings 5 X-ray, cross tunnel at or above flight level 120 and descend to flight level 080.
Cross tunnel at or above flight level 120 and descend to flight level 080. Eurowings 5 X-ray.
Here we go. Alright. So same VAP, 154, one more knot. We can of course, so aircraft, air conditioning, AI, so this is air, anti-ice. I believe there's no ice formation on our destination, but let's take a look here. Yeah, 1.6, and anything below 10 degrees is considering icing conditions for engine anti-ice, but not wings. So for the wings, wing anti-ice, we need to have...
Descend flight level 210.
Come on guys, I can descend as fast as you want me to.
Jet 4423, descend via start to 5,000 feet, QNH 1027.
Descend via start to 5,000 feet, QNH 1027, Jet 4423.
Oh. So we are cleared to descend all the way down to 5,000. And we got QNH 1027. So if we zoom in here, up a little bit, we can see that we're going to need to do this and then do this. So I think that at this point here, which is
Eurowings 5 X-ray, descend via start to 4,000 feet, QNH 1027.
DF415, then vector. So we're gonna need radar vectors in, because I don't think this coincides with this DF482. I don't think it coincides. Let's see if it does coincide. 482, no. So I think 482 is below this path here. And we do need to go and do this S pattern to land on the runway. It looks funky, but it allows traffic separation, which is exactly what is needed. Such a big airport like Frankfurt. So I got our first constraint here, and I believe we are going to comply. Anything, well, we need to be below flight level 270 and above flight level 220, which we are. But we are clear to 5,000 feet, so we need to follow the star and descend to 5,000 feet at the same time before we are vectored in for the ILS approach or RNP approach. We'll see. Oops, too much. There it is. Let's go outside and appreciate this beautiful view at night. I also have this camera I love. Beautiful camera. As well as the belly camera. This one. And we can see the landing gear coming down. I hope today I'll remember to go to the external camera to see the gear coming down. It's always a nice feature. Passing flight level 210. Still have a long way to descend. We're going to insert here the runway course, so let's start to set up the plane. So 246 on both sides.
Eurowing 5 X-ray, contact long and radar approach 125.05.
Contact long and radar approach 125.05, Eurowings 5 X-ray.
Done. Same with the heading, so we're going to stay right here while we're flying, but as we get closer we set our heading for the runway course, which is 246 written right there. Let's pick up our descent checklists. So we're going to need NTIs, no need. Landing altitude already set, approach briefing. Then we're going to set the altimeter for local QNH, which is 1027, and then landing lights, seatbelt signs below 10,000. So I'm going to set that all up.
3 Victor, Echo, cleared on 07, X-ray arrival, runway 22 left. Cleared on 07, X-ray arrival, runway 22 left, contract 3 Victor, Echo.
So it kind of looks like we're close, and we are close to the airport, but we still need to perform the star first, and then there's a vector in here.
Ryanair to Papa Charlie, descend via start to 3,000 feet, QNH 1028.
There it is. So, not sure about that. Maybe I'll delete this and go direct to DF426.
Cleared Lonky 9 Romeo arrival, runway 30. Cleared Lonky 9 Romeo arrival, runway 30, Air France 1582. Ryanair to Papa Charlie, contact long and radar 118.75. Center on 118.75, Ryanair to Papa Charlie, good day.
Richard, my good friend, thank you so much for coming. Richard, I completely forgot to thank you on your Buy Me a Coffee support. I really appreciate it. I was kind of busy and things didn't go well in the last live stream. I had to cancel it. Flying the 737 MAX was not a good choice. Today I'm flying the NG.
Report ready for descent. Ready for descent. Contract.
Set auto brake 2.
Contract 3 Victor Echo.
And our VRAAS will be 152.
QNH 1027. Descent to 3000 feet. QNH 1027. Contract 3 Victor Echo. Contract 3 Victor Echo. Contact Leach approach 119.28. Contact Leach approach 119.28. Contract 3 Victor Echo. Postman 58 Lima Heavy. Cleared Coxley 1 Romeo arrival. Runway 08 left. Cleared Coxley 1 Romeo arrival. Runway 08 left.
And a very good evening to you, Richard.
Ryanair 189.
My good friend Andrew. Drax is still on vacation.
Contact Rams Control 128.2.
Ah, thanks. Thanks, Richard. It's always nice to see you
Air France
here.
1582. Report ready for descent. Ready for descent. Air France 1582. Air France 1582. Descent to flight level 190. Descent to flight level 190. Air France 1582. Euro 6 Mike Echo.
So you see the constraint there?
Arrival.
Those little arrows, they need to be between these. I'm gonna zoom in. So these two arrows dictate that you need to be below 11,000 feet and above 10,000 feet. This is where we are at right now. Then the other next constraint will be even tighter.
Eurowing 6808, long and radar, identified.
So the plane now needs to decelerate, and that's exactly what it's doing. Because it needs to pass 10,000 feet at 250 knots.
Rolling radar, Ryanair T1 Lima Mike, good evening.
And you need to pass the next waypoint at flight level 100.
Ryanair 2, 1 Lima Mike, long and radar, identified.
737 does a great energy management. I would say it's better than the Airbus A320, to be honest. But it's not by a lot, it's just a little better at decelerating and managing airspeed. Airspeed versus altitude, I mean. But again, not by a great margin, it's just...
Long and radar, Whiskey to Whiskey, good evening. Flight level 360.
We're flying Germany.
Whiskey to Whiskey, long and radar, identified.
Betsy's with us today.
Postman 58 Lima Heavy, report ready for descent. Ready for descent.
And we're going to bring out our HUD.
8 Lima Heavy, descent to flight level 160. Descent to flight level 160, Postman 58.
Still decelerating.
Eurowing 6808, descent to flight level 090.
Descent to flight level 090, Eurowing 6808.
Jet 4423, contact long and radar 127.28.
Contact long and radar
Let's go for long and here.
27.28, Jet 4423. Long and radar, Jet 4423, passing flight level 100, descending to 5,000 feet with information
Passing
area.
10,000 feet. Let's turn lights on.
Jet 4423,
There we go. ILS.
H1027, expect the ILS Zulu approach runway 25 right with the Delta Foxtrot 426 transition.
Everything. Everything confirmed.
27, expect ILS Zulu approach runway 25 right with the Delta Foxtrot 426 transition.
There it is. 25 right with the Zulu. ILS Zulu and via 2. So we need to confirm this one. DF 426 via MCAR. Alright, so everything's confirmed now. path. That's why it's holding the altitude right now. Sorry, Betsy, you don't have a HUD. This isn't an Airbus A350 or a 787 when both pilots have a HUD. Sorry. Yeah. This is PMDG, the PMDG 737. 800, so it's the last one to receive the graphics overhaul. Oops, what's going on here? Why did I miss LNAV and VNAV? No, let's go to Nelly then. Is that I completely reselected the approach, and so it went haywire trying to follow it. It's not every time, but most of the times the plane is always right. Most of the times the plane is always right. Most of the time. A little quirk because in the Airbus it doesn't redraw the entire approach as far as I remember. Maybe it does. I'm almost sure it doesn't redraw the entire approach, even if you've been through all those steer points. And we're back. To follow that S-shaped star, sorry. So we're following box 5 Alpha. This is the one funky approach we're following right now. And after that, 416, we're going to need vectors to intercept 426. It seems that we are not authorized to go direct to 426. So we are just about to cross the runway threshold. Could be this one right here, not sure. Could be this one. Because the runway is somewhere over here. Yeah, it could be this one. No, it's not this one. It's one further away. Well, doesn't matter. We still need to so, Richard, I don't remember redrawing the entire approach, so much so that it creates an offset. Because if you already went through the waypoints, what's the point of redrawing them on your 6? Of course, you might say, well, we should be pre-planning this way behind, but as you saw, sometimes you're given the approaches right on where your flight plan is ending. And this one, as you can see, goes all the way to impact. So look at this, all these waypoints were being added, and we were right here. And it just added all these waypoints behind us. I know the plane is not that smart to know what it is in regards to the flight plan, and you might want to go back. So I think it kind of makes sense that it redraws, but if you pass these points, the plane should identify that you're beyond these points unless you're off course. So let's say if you're turning 45 or 90 degrees to the right, then it knows that you're not following the flight plan, so it might redraw the entire flight plan because it's thinking you want to go back down here and restart. But if you're already following, so we were somewhere here at Adnis and then Spisa, when it redrew everything on the back, you should have noticed that, okay, you've passed all those, so now you want to go to Ripco. So I'm going to delete the previous ones and point you there. Instead, it just drew a discontinuity, and we were pretty much flying on our own for a moment there. Oh well, we got it sorted. Not as bad as when the stream began, right? So, Richard, when the stream began, my engines just quit for no reason apparent. I did not, the fuel cutoff switches were not pulled aft. The ignition was not turned on, and nothing was like, I didn't do anything. I just went to check on the air stairs because they were apparently deployed for some reason. And when I got back to the cockpit, the engines were not responsive, and I had to restart the engines on the tarmac, both of them. I never seen it. I mean, I've seen that in the last flight with the Max, the one I cancelled. But I thought that was a plane bug, but I think it's a general bug. I even had to restart GSX because I thought GSX was acting up again. Alright, now we're gonna start the first leg on the S turn. And when I say S, I mean the letter S, not the other word you're thinking about. I'm going to reduce background lighting. Well, not the background lighting, AFDS lighting a little bit. This is the MCP. I think these are switches, aren't they? Okay, much better. I think this is switch because main panel should be the backlight. Apparently, the backlight is now connected to this one. So panel brightness, right? Only on the main pedestal, so what controls the backlight here? Oh, alright. Main panel bright, then the back. Alright, no big deal. Alright, here we are, following this leg here now, all the way to DF408. And I noticed one thing with Beyond ETC already, which is that it didn't clear before the ILS, as it was doing before, which was crazy, because we need to follow the star first, then we are clear for the ILS. We're expecting ILS, but we are not cleared for the ILS. So that's a positive. Yeah, the panel light does the backlight on the MCP and the two main panels, co-pilot and co-pilot. But this one controls the full pedestal, including the throttle. So you can see here, and this gives this beautiful glow to Betsy. This one is a floodlight that's right over there. One of these lights, I believe. I believe it's this light here, not this one here. Go. So if we move it in, it kind of glows in. I believe this. No, I believe no. This is the circuit breaker light. Hold on. This is the floodlight right there. So if we turn it off, yeah, this is the floodlight. This is the circuit breaker light. It's always nice to have a little ambiance. And then these three control the left. Well, the main panel is full panel. Then the background is this light here, which I think it's poorly modeled on this aircraft, because notice that it doesn't cast shadows. So I don't really think it's behaving as it should. It doesn't cast any shadows on the knobs, so I don't like it that much. And now my track IR just decided to die. Yep, track IR died. Alright, still have a few moments to spare, so I'll connect the battery. My track IR is rechargeable. It runs on a little battery. It actually works pretty well. And we're back. Now. Oh, that's a funky thing to do. Let's not do that again. And we're back. So we're about to make this turn here. And then we'll make a final turn with radar vectors. So this is the second to last turn. We are still slowly descending to 5,000, no rush. And the 5,000 feet will be the selected altitude for the approach phase. So let's go here to the ILS Zulu. This is the one. Not runway 07 though. There it is. ILS Zulu. And we're going to start right here. So we are somewhere north, and we're going to make this turn here and approach. So zoom out a little bit. Currently, we are right here. We are right here on this lane. So the final star lane, all the way to DF416. This is where we're going to get radar vectors to turn in. So we're just waiting for that anytime now. Meanwhile, let me pin the airport chart, because Frankfurt is a little complex. Yep, pin this one. Taxi chart, pin it. So this is the A380 restrictions. No need. Alright, so this is 747, 777. None of these are us. And parking stands to the east, parking stands to the west, parking stands, so those all restrictions south, and I think there's nothing more. Yeah, east, west, and south. Alright. So now we go back here to the pins, and we got everything set up here. Pretty neat. So, let's have a guess here. So we're going for runway 25 right, which is this remote one. And it's actually one of the least favorite runways to land for me. I prefer to land in one of these. But anyway, we are going to probably taxi through Papa. Or they're going to send us all the way back. So probably going to land into Papa and taxi via Papa 1. So Papa first out of one of these, probably P20. This is a short runway, by the way, compared to this one. It's about 2/3. So we're gonna go through Papa, then Papa 1, and then I'm guessing we're gonna send directly to November Piers. I hope you're not gonna get this to taxi to Sierra. It's gonna be a pain, but it is possible. That's why I don't like to land on this one. Not only is it shorter than the other ones, so you see it's 9,100 feet or 2,800 meters, but this one is 4,000 meters, 4,000 meters, 4,000. So it's the shortest one on the airfield, and it's almost 1/3 smaller. And it's okay. So anytime now we're going to get some radar vectors, I hope. So in order to prevent some weird turning, we're going to set our heading here, because I'm pretty sure it's going to revert to heading 00067 right there. Alright.
Clear direct DF426 gross DF426 at above 5,000 feet. Clear ILS Zulu approach runway 25 right.
Alright.
Jet 4423.
Nice. So we got both flight directors. As soon as we turn in, we're going to turn on our approach mode. And that will enable us to fly the ILS. Yeah, it's going to be a long... If it goes to southbound, it's going to be a long taxi. Let's hopefully just make it to the... Actually, we can assign it here. I'm just not sure if... So, we could assign it here. Yeah, look at that. We can assign it, but I don't think Beyond ATC will even care about that. So let's not do that now. Hopefully this gets connected with Beyond ATC, but right now, even better, it gets connected with Simbrief. So in Simbrief, they promised that once upon a time, they promised that you're going to be able to choose the gate out of Simbrief, which is even better than choosing it by GSX, to be honest, because you can pre-plan everything. And then if GSX can import stuff from Simbrief, it can easily import that as well. But it's not here yet, so we're about to hit the 4-hour in-sim mark, but we've been flying for much less than that, thanks to time compression. Alright, let's turn on the, well, not yet, let it do the turn. There it is. It's still far away, so no point in turning on. Coming up on the 5,000 feet warning. So we should remain at 5,000 feet until the F420 right here. So we're currently on the F426, going to 425, then 423. So we need to remain 480. So we need to remain at 5,000 until 420. So no point in activating the approach mode unless you really want to. Now, the Airbus has a way to identify the approach phase, and we can actually bypass that and force into descent mode and then force it into approach mode, but not on the Boeing. So you have VNAV, and on VNAV you can easily just set up stuff to go directly to the approach mode. But let's go for the descent request. We should have done this already. Yeah, it is going to be a nice feature. So QNH 1027 according to ATC. 121. I can barely see these digits. 1027, there it is. Alright, let's load the winds. Alright, done. Execute. Alright, let's activate approach mode. We're going to have a decel up ahead, and we could start decelerating the plane with the flaps and all that, but we're still so far away. Let's just stay there for a moment. Nice little whopping. This one with ground terrain or just terrain, and we no longer need to go back to map with weather, which is much more necessary. So we are intercepting the localizer. Airplane's compensating slightly. Start reducing our speed here. Flaps 1. And the plane automatically switches to the flap 1 airspeed on the IAS, indicated airspeed. So the plane's struggling a little bit, as you can see. This is something I've noticed. This plane has a little trouble with intercepting the localizer. It kind of wobbles left and right quite a bit. You can always just tune it in. So like, first of all, set your heading to runway heading 246, and now if you see that it's still struggling, and it is, just gonna set it to heading select first, let it level a little bit. Mode again, and there he goes. Coming up on our final restriction. Out of here the plane will disengage VNAV and start descending. So speed check, flaps 5. Plane's going to reduce to flap 5 speed. Let's pay attention to our HUD, our very expensive HUD here. So approach checklist, altimeter set, decision height set to 511 barrel. Approach speed on the FMC, we'll set it 152. Approach speed as vRAAS. Approach data ILS set, so we got ILS 25 Romeo heading 246. It's auto tune actually, which is always good. Approach button is armed. We are following it. Speed brake set armed, so just there it is. And flaps will be set according to speed. Approach checklist complete.
Contact Hal 136.
Let's go to tower.
Jet 4423. Frankfurt Tower, Jet 4423. ALS approach runway 25 right.
Jet 4423, Frankfurt Tower, wind variable 2 knots, runway 25 right, clear to land.
Clear to
Runway
land.
25 right, clear to land. Jet 4423.
Now it's the correct time to clear us to land, not while we're performing the star like it used to do. So kudos to Beyond ATC, they fixed that. It didn't happen every time, but it happened quite a lot. Let's turn on the FPV. Very long approach, that's why I'm not really interested in dropping the gear just yet. And we're still above the reference speed, that's fine. We can, however, descend our little flaps, so let's go to flaps 10. Let me check flaps 10. Set. The more we insert flaps, the more the nose lowers, and it gives us a great perspective on the runway. We can, however, go to flaps 15 without the gear, or we'll get the gear warning. Welcome to Boeing.
2500.
2500 check.
All aircraft cleared right, information 0 now, current QNH10.
Now let's go for the gear. Gear down. Beautiful. Flaps 15. Flaps 25. So we got flight slope and FAC intercepted. And flaps 30. Struggling a little bit, it's absolutely normal. Alright, autopilot, oh, hold on. I put my feet on the pedals here, because there's a slight wind. 2 knots, it's not even showing up on the ND, but it's enough to disturb. Alright, autopilot off. Apply a manual approach, just keep the little ball inside the big ball, that's all that is. Try to draw a donut on the HUD there. Plane's feeling well, we're established. Quite a calm night. See how small this runway really is.
1000.
Check. Slight little wind from the right, I believe.
Approaching 25 right.
Confirmed. Check. Might not notice, but I'm making some micro corrections here. Plane's flying very well towards the approach. With
300.
Check.
Approaching minimums.
Copy.
Minimums.
Continue. Little high.
50. 30. 20. 10.
brake engage. Reverse.
900 meters remaining.
100. Auto brake off.
600 remaining.
Auto brake off. Welcome to Germany, to Frankfurt. Alright. Get the flaps up. So, as expected, we are going to exit right on the very end. It told us to turn on P20, but I think we missed that. So you're going for P24. If I had known that it would really eat the runway as it did, well, the prediction told me so. I should have set auto brakes 3.
30 meters remaining.
Yeah, we're exiting, lady. Start APU. Right, runway vacated.
TUI Jet 4423, contact ground 121.9055.
Ground 121.9055, TUI Jet 4423, good day.
Please give us November. Or maybe we
TUI
can...
Jet 4423, request taxi to the gate.
TUI Jet 4423, welcome to Frankfurt Main Airport. Say parking or advise if need assignment.
Let's go to Alpha 54A. Alpha 54.
Request gate Alpha 5 for TUI Jet 4423.
TUI Jet 4423, taxi to stand Alpha 54 via Papa
Nice.
November 11 November.
Taxi to stand Alpha 54 via Papara, November 11 November, TUI Jet 4423.
So, no need. So, this is what we're gonna get. So, we are going through Papa, then November 1, so we're going through all the way down here, then November 1-1, then November, all the way, nice. And then we're gonna need to search for stand Alpha 54. Let me just confirm that's the one we picked on GSX, because it can get a little tricky. So we are going through November, Alpha 54A or B. Yeah, let's go to A. Does it have a jetway? Yes, so no. Alright. Nice. At least we don't have to go all the way south. So APU available. So single engine taxi with this plane can be a little tricky, because I know you have to turn on an alternate system, otherwise you'll end up without nose wheel steering. So let me see if I can get it. So first of all, set Gen 2 APU, turn off engine 1. So I think, yeah, this is not the one. So this is Papa 1, so we need to go forth. Do we have? Oh, we still have. So we got electrical. We got an electrical warning, which is nice because that corresponds to engine number 1. So we can dismiss it, and we can also turn off the electrical, not engine 2. This one. All right. Hydraulics, yeah, why not? Because we don't need 2 pumps, or maybe we do. No, let me keep it on. Because if it's powered by this one single engine, we might need 2 hydraulic pumps. So we no longer need this. Just need to follow the airport lights. Oh yeah, Andrew, Richard, it was one of the most stable approaches I've ever done, to be honest. Very stable. So, hydraulic, yeah, it failed anyway, so it's the engine hydraulic. Just keep the electrical one. So there's a, what's that? That's probably a training aircraft for the firefighters. So you see how remote this airfield is. It doesn't, you can't see the gate anywhere. Oh no, there's a GPU memory issue again. Service Spec 5 was good in so many ways, but memory management was not one of them. So in the past, I think we had to set the flight controls to standby for some reason. Perhaps if you turn off engine 2, some of these systems are reliant on single engine systems. So if you turn off engine 2, you probably need to set the standby hydraulics to operate correctly. I don't recall it, but I do remember I had to do it back in the day when I flew the 737-400 and I wanted to do SETO or SETI. I needed to turn on the auxiliary pumps, hydraulic pumps, or the alternate controls, I'm not sure. The flight controls, the standby rudder at least. But here we are. QNH looks off, looks like we're below ground. But it didn't give me the correct QNH in it. Clear to land. It just didn't give me the QNH recently, but I think it's 1027. Let me check if it changed. No. No, it's gotta be 1027 still. Yep. Alright, so we're still far away. There's a fire truck there. Try not to overspeed, but I think I'm gonna accelerate a little bit. Not just because I'm single engined, but also because I think this is very boring for you guys to watch. So we're aiming for this little taxiway here. Right here. Then coming down through November 1. We're also going uphill, so every help helps. There you go. This is Papa 11. Not 11, sorry. It's Papa, single Papa. So, just Papa. Going over the highway, it seems. Guy going across the taxiway? Oh, it disappeared. There was some guy coming from the left there. Alright, so now we're going to straight forward through November 11 and then turn left through November to the gates. And then we just need to find Alpha 54. there's a holding point here, I believe. There it is, there's a holding point here. Nice. Just in case there's traffic here. Nice Lufthansa cargo 777 here. Now that I think about it, I've never seen a Lufthansa cargo flight in real life. Because, you know, they only fly in and out of German airports. Alright, now let's gonna turn left to November. So this is November 11, left to November right there. We're gonna follow these plaques here. Hey you. Hold on. Hey, hey, hey. Whoa. Never mind that. Airfield incident. It's alright, it's just animated traffic. So this is November. Now we're gonna search for Alpha 54. So where are we? This is Victor. So we're still not in the right area. So let's go east. Let's take a look here. Where's Alpha 54? Alpha 62, 54. So we need to go through link 3. So we're currently right here, and we need to go to November 8, I think. Is this November 8? Yep, November 8. So let's see. I don't want to miss the turn here. Oh, there's a Condor Retro. Look at that. And the ugly Condor. So we're gonna look for... Look at that. How do you go from this beauty to that aberration of nature? So ugly the stripes are. I know people like, some people like it. I honestly can't. It's one of those planes only a mother can love. Not even that. Alright, so there's November 8, and there's our gates over there. So we're going again to Lufthansa's gates. But I picked the gate, remember, so no big deal. So November 8 to the left, correct? Don't get intimidated if you fly your flight simulation and you need to navigate around an airport. Just look at these yellow plaques. They will tell you where to turn. So you see here November 8, that's where you need to go. Of course you need to look at your charts to figure out where you are, but that's the least of your problems, to be honest. Forgot to turn off the weather radar.
Monitor radar display. Go around. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead.
Did I press
wind
the test?
Wind shear ahead.
I might have pressed test. Turn this off. Turn this off. Alright, so now we are at the right gate. We just need to go to Alpha 54. So just look at the ground. So November 8, nice. Now let's see. Which one's Alpha 54? 66B, so it's all the way down there. Right next to that 747, I think. Oh, there's a TAP Portugal there. Turn this off. Alpha 62. 62. 62 Alpha. Let's carry on going. 54 Bravo. Is that plane on our spot? Yes, it... No, hold on. 54 Alpha, that's the one. No, but we can't go here. Let's go to the next one. That one over there, which is... Yeah, there's a plane parked there, right on our spot. Unless we can clear it. Yeah, stand by. Give me a moment to clear it. Give me a second to clear it. Plane's parked on my spot. Done. It is gone. Easy as that. There. Alright, let's go in. It's my fault because I picked the spot. Not the plane's fault. The traffic. It just populates the airfield the way it should. It's just I circumvent that when I choose my own parking. Just follow this dotted line. Just following that PDGS system over there. To the left. Slow down. Left. Left. Stop. Parking brake set. And engine 2 off. Alright. Now let's keep this one on. APU bleed. Turn these off. Keep the APU running for now. Let's request deboarding. What? Alright. This is for Frankfurt Airport, not Alright, deporting. So let's go here to ground operations, set chocks. Set chocks, I pressed it more than once. Ground power unit requests. Here comes the nice little jetway. Nice. Request ground power again. There it is. Nah, leave it. Alright, passengers deboarding. Parking checklist. Parking brake is set. Taxi lights to off. Should have already turned that off. Chocks have been set. External power connected and on. APU set off. I said APU off. Fuel control switches both cut off. Anti-collision lights to off. This should already be on steady. Wing lights off. Let's leave the lower lights for now. Flight directors both off. 1 and 2. Passenger signs off. Yaw damper off. hydraulic pumps, electrical off, fuel pumps to off, probe heat to off, and doors opened. Alright, and the doors are open as you can see here. Alright guys, that was a very cool flight out of Madeira to Frankfurt. We had a little hiccup on the very beginning. Oh nice, APU shut down, really cool. We had a little hiccup in the beginning with the airplane just freezing. I'm gonna talk with the guys at PMDG to figure out what could possibly have been gone wrong. We are also having this Simbrief whatever warning. The loaded flight plan does not match the one on Simbrief from LPMF. So see the contradiction? The loaded flight plan from EDDF, but we're not flying from the EDDF. So, alright. It probably reloaded the flight plan mid operation, and now it's completely lost. But we arrived at Frankfurt Main Airport on board this beautiful PMDG 737-800, and boy, how different was it? The entire flight. How different was it? We did have that hiccup. The plane's engines quit while we were on Madeira. I was having some technical issues on my side as well, some my side problems, but boy, when I solved it and the plane took off, everything from departure to landing was just night and day from what happened last time with this iFly 737. So guys at iFly and Flight 1, take notes. PMDG is doing the 737 as it should be, and this plane is not exactly top-notch. It still has its own problems, but still it's a much more memorable flight than flying with the iFly Flight 1 737 MAX, which fails on almost all sectors. This plane does have some little issues to go, but I think PMDG did a great job, and the external textures do look good. They did a good job in upgrading the looks. I mean, look at this. How cool is this? I mean, it's not something new, because you've seen the Phoenix does this external interaction and all that. And it's nothing new. I think they were the first ones. There's some funky thing going on with can you see that? Never seen that on the letters here. Look at that. It's only with the letters. But like I was saying, Phoenix already did that, but they did a good job on their side still. Look at that. Look at almost all that detail over there from the landing gear bay. I did notice that this isn't really round. Not sure what's going on here. It doesn't look good. It's like blurry or something. What happened there? Look at that. Doesn't look good. Compared to the rest of the plane, this looks awful. I'm not sure what happened there. This one doesn't have a cover, only the external one does. But like I said, PMDG is doing the thing, and this texture upgrade was really good. From the outside to the inside, everything about the plane right now feels much better than when it was released. Some people, mostly the naysayers, will say, well, maybe PMDG should have done that way back when they released the plane. Yeah, sure, why? Yeah, right. And people will still be complaining if they had to take so long to release this plane, right? And they do need to make money, come on. And this upgrade was free. It's not like they're charging for the texture update, right? So I think this community needs to chill out a little bit, touch some grass sometimes, because I think people get overreacted, do overreact a lot with updates and upgrades and all that. But here it is. PMDG 737-800 right now is almost state of the art. There's still some things I would consider redoing or improving, but it's out of the scope of this flight today. Guys, if you enjoyed, just wondering if this would open. If you guys enjoyed the flight, remember to leave a like, subscribe. There's a link in the description for the Buy Me a Coffee page if you're feeling generous. Every investment you make, it is an investment because I reinvest in further add-ons. Let's see if I can go through the, just like we did on Stuttgart. Can we? Can we go through the? I hope I can. Nah, see, it's blocked here. It's just a little gimmick. You can't go through there. But hey, I am going through. It's just not supposed. You're not supposed to be here. But welcome to Frankfurt. Welcome to Germany. My next flight will be out of this specific airport, so we'll see where we go next. Oh my God, what happened to you, dear? Your feet are buried in the ground. You feeling okay? Oh, oh my. Sorry about that, lady. Anyway.
All aircraft be advised, information Tango now current QNH 1027.
Thank you. So guys, see you next time out of Frankfurt, in somewhere exotic, hopefully. And thank you all. Thank you. Let me thank the guys here on the stream. Hold on. Let me turn off my Trek IR first. Alright. Alright, thank you Andrew, thank you Drexy for the brief visit, thank you Thibault, thank you Denise was also here, and of course my greatest, well, my great friend, sorry, my great friend Richard for coming here. Yeah, I need to find the EF gate planner for sure. Yeah, some people are just never happy. Have a good night, Richard. You too. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you guys next time. And as always, remember, even if there's a thunderstorm up ahead, and sometimes there are, sometimes life gives you more than lemonades. It gives you entire lemon trees. Remember, even if that happens, up there, through the clouds, there's always a shining sun. It's only a matter of time. And one day that sun will shine upon you as well. See you next time. Bye bye.
Clouds I reach so high, climbing up to touch the light. Adventure calls me day and night. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. The stars above begin to shine, painting trails so bright and fine. Every turn brings something new, endless skies in brilliant blue. The wind, it sings a melody, guiding where I long to be. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the dream's begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the light. I'll spread my wings and chase the sun. No limits when the drums begun. The world below fades out of sight as I soar into the